Welcome to Cool Cars here on GiltrapTV. A big Cool Cars today because we welcome Lotus to the Giltrap Group. We'll share with you what's headed to Lotus Auckland this year and also what's on the way, and how Lotus Genius claims 7 F1 Constructors titles and a bucket full of Olympic gold medals. And Jenson Button gets behind the wheel of the all-new Emira. And as always, plenty of cool cars and great deals. But the big news today, in fact hot off the press, is that Lotus is coming to Giltrap Group. Now Lotus Auckland will open at 174 Great North Road at Greyland later this year, but right now you can see what cars they have and what is coming at lotusauckland.co.nz. And it's a start at the finish with the final edition of the Elise and Exige. These are the ultimate versions of the cars that heralded a new chapter for Lotus, a brand that for many of my era meant esprit, but Elise and Exige stayed true to the Lotus maxim of putting the fun back into driving. And the other great Colin Chapman quote, of course, simplify, then add lightness. Try 931 kilos for the Elise, which combined with the power upgrade makes it a seriously quick and most of all nimble car.
Iconic performance at one with the road. Hand-built in Britain, with pride, craft, precision.
Top Gear describing the drive like this. You just sit there and absorb the sensations, marvelling at the communication.
For the road, for the thrill, for the passion, for the drivers.
And recently, Mr. JWW went to Hethel, the home of Lotus, to drive the final edition Exige on the Lotus test track.
And then there's the other thing, the lack of weight, the lack of inertia through corners. Under direction change, like this, like this. The whole thing is alive and alert, and because there's very little weight, the direction change and transition between corners, the S's up here, feel amazing.
And there's a link to the full drive on this week's Cool Cars. And at lotusauckland.co.nz you can check out the full range of final edition Elise and Exige, including this Exige 390 final edition, supercharged V6 and carbon fibre sports seats. There's also an Elise Cup edition in Vortex Grey, full digital display and lightweight forged wheels. Also on Cool Cars this week, a DBX in Luna White at Aston Martin Auckland, white satin black 22-inch wheels and the sports exhaust as well. Giltrap Audi have a 2017 S5. It's Audi approved and just $79,900. In Archibald and Shorter you can find a 2019 Range Rover Sport SVR, Brembo brakes and Napa leather. Now that's a nice combo. And at Giltrap North Shore, a 2017 HSV GTS R, wait for it, also a 30th anniversary model as well. Super rare 6.2 litre V8, in case you needed to know. Now back to Lotus and looking back at their history. And there's a constant theme across the history with 7 Constructors titles in F1, wins at places like Monaco and Indianapolis, and that theme is innovation, pushing the boundaries, whether it's on the track with monocoque construction or ground effects, and the winning innovations continue. And the success isn't just limited to motorsport circuits. In fact, their latest track success was achieved with less than 1 horsepower. Lotus Engineering delivered the aerodynamic masterpiece that saw Great Britain top the track cycling medal table at the Tokyo Olympics, and it continued a 29-year gold medal winning partnership that dates back to Chris Boardman's victory in Barcelona. But the future for Lotus is all electric, and they're just about to unveil a full range of not just sports cars but electric SUVs. Every one of the cars carrying the Lotus DNA have been for the drivers. Stay tuned to Giltrap.com and Lotus Auckland for the latest news on this upcoming range. And at Goodwood this year, we're able to see exactly what Lotus are capable of when they demonstrated, I was going to say a supercar, make that a hyper EV, the Evija. Powered by a 70 kilowatt hour battery pack and four 493 horsepower motors. I'll do the maths for you. That's 1,974 brake horsepower or 1,472 kilowatts. Under 3 seconds to 100, and wait for this one, 0 to 300 in under 9 seconds. And of course, it also looks epic. Well, head of the electric range, the next new model to arrive at Lotus Auckland will be their swan song to petrol-powered sports cars. It's called the Emira. It'll come with a supercharged V6 and in the future will also feature a 4-cylinder AMG power plant. F1 world champ Jenson Button put the Emira through its paces.
It just holds the road so well. Just puts a big smile on your face. A lot of people talk about power to weight, and the reason why they have to add so much horsepower is because the car's so heavy. With the Lotus, it's super light. You don't need 800 horsepower, and you wouldn't want it either. It would be undrivable. It's light, it's nimble, and it's comfortable. A completely different beast.
And you can see Jenson's full track drive in the Emira on GiltrapTV. There's also a link on this week's Cool Cars, and in keeping with Lotus DNA, a race-ready GT4 Emira has just been revealed. In fact, this week, it's due next year, 3.5-litre V6 engine, optimised GT4 aerodynamics, made for the track, and it promises to be more than competitive, of course. And on that super cool note, that's it for this edition. Do enjoy this week's Cool Cars and Great Deals, and once again, welcome Lotus.